Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be looking at the next upcoming event called The Cure, and it does look like there is going to be an attached character to it, and it's a familiar face if you recognize it. It is S-Class Amber. But reading through the basics on the event itself, it says, The Cure. The clock is ticking and everyone is working together to get a working vaccine out as soon as possible. You'll have to help Amber gather the needed supplies to help her deliver the life-saving solution to everyone in the colonies. Help the survivors collect vaccines and get Amber to join your squad. The event dates are as follows. It starts on Tuesday, January the 5th at 4 PM Pacific time, and it ends on Tuesday, January the 26th at 4 PM Pacific time. The museum, collections and grey market ends on Wednesday the 27th, which obviously is going to be a 24-hour period to hand in for your rewards. It is worth noting that this multi-week event is only going to be 21 days. Instead of, I think, the 5 weeks that we had for Governor and the standard 4+ that we normally have on monthly events, this one is going to be a lot shorter, so potentially could be a lot harder to achieve. So make sure you are hitting the milestones early on in the event, so you don't leave yourself disappointed at the end. Reading through the event details, it says, to help Amber's efforts, you will need to collect virus vaccines, only available through the event roadmap, syringes, mainly available through tournament milestone rewards, and virus spores, only available as raid drops during raid tournaments. So that's quite important. It's only during actual raid tournaments where these virus spores are going to drop. The virus vaccines will be key to obtaining your very own S-Class Amber. They will only be available as act rewards in the event weekly roadmaps. More details to follow below. So make sure to complete all acts of the roadmap each week to collect your virus vaccines. A total of 120 virus vaccines will be available as rewards. However, you will only need a total of 100 virus vaccines to claim S-Class Amber during the event. Okay, it seems pretty straightforward there. Syringes will also be key in claiming S-Class Amber, available as milestones rewards for all tournaments during the event. You'll need a total of 2,100 syringes, along with the virus vaccines to claim all the cards needed for S-Class Amber. Now, it is obviously unclear how many of these syringes we get per milestone and so on and so forth, but at least we know 2,100 is the aim. I do like that they're actually giving the full amount of stuff that we need to get, so it's an easy focus and an easy target for you to set as an individual. It does finish off that part by saying you will also be able to trade your syringes in the grey market for other S-Class cards and useful items. I'm sure they're going to tell us what those rewards are down below. Last but not least, virus spores will be awarded as raid drops rewards only during raid tournaments. Full caps here, it is indeed only during raid tournaments. Once a raid tournament starts, you'll have a guaranteed drop of virus spores in varying amounts, which can be traded in for the either biohazard tokens for the stash or 2,000 elite item tokens. The stash itself will include a slew of useful leveling items such as trainers, gear, medals, and armory tokens. That's nice to hear. Long story short, complete the weekly roadmaps and participate in tournaments to earn vaccines and syringes to earn S-Class Amber cards, earn virus spores during raid tournaments to progress in the stash. Now, there is a breakdown of the roadmap information. It says each week a new roadmap will become available consisting of 4 acts which must be completed in order and 5 stages. As you progress through each act, the difficulty will increase and you'll also be more limited in your fighter selection as each act will require fighters with specific traits. Very interesting. They have done this in the past. It does look like they're bringing it back. It's called the Infection Roadmap, and the first one that's going to be up is going to be up for, it looks like, a week from the 5th of January until the 12th of January. And as we can see that Walkers is going to be the main thing for the first act. Walkers are going to be the main thing for the second act, third act, and fourth act. So it looks like it's all going to be Walkers if we see the Walkers on the left-hand side. And by the looks of things, we're going to get a lot of rewards here. I saw trainers, elite armory tokens, elite weapon tokens, armory tokens, even if it's a small amount. All armory tokens do help. And then it goes on to the second roadmap, which starts on the 12th, almost instantly, I would assume. Like, this one will finish, next one will start straight away. Now it's going on to fighters, as you can see. Fighters, it doesn't say which trait you can use on the first act, but we'll find out, I guess, when it pops. Oh, it does actually say there's no requirements on the first one, but the second one is strong, tough, alert. And then the next one is strong, alert, and fast. And then the last one is only strong and fast. And that's not going to be too difficult because strong and fast you can just take a melee leader, so it's not too bad. It doesn't actually say the difficulty that this goes up to, but it is going to cost world energy, so it's not like a limited energy resource to get this done. And then we have the final roadmap, which starts on the 19th and goes until the 26th, so a little bit shorter than the other two. And it is going to... Oh, it does say the difficulty at the top left-hand corner. I do apologize. S6 in the top left-hand corner. First is going to be walkers, then fighters, and then fighters. But it only goes up to S9, so it doesn't look too difficult. It actually looks pretty straightforward. It should be quite accessible to a lot of people. That's just going to be quite heavy on the world energy. Then we have the reward details. It says once you have a nice bundle of collectibles, it's time to claim your rewards. S-Class Amber cards will be available in the museum for virus vaccines and syringes. Syringes and virus spores can be traded in the grey market for rewards. Here is S-Class Amber. We do get the visuals, and she is looking pretty bootylicious, so we say. I think that's pretty fair to say. Let's say that. We'll look at the character breakdown. She has got some stats. I'm going to get my hands on this character eventually so I can show you gameplay of this character to see if she is as good as she would seem on paper. And here are her stats. She is an alert character with the damage roll. She has got 3,866 HP, 2,824 defense, but 5,965 attack. So big attack stat on Amber here, which is kind of what you'd hope for. This is playing into the sort of what we expect from Amber as an S-Class character. We'll look at her rush. It is called Unholy Shot. It is a 76 AP cost rush. Effect deals 800% damage to one enemy and all adjacent. Those enemies get 100% heal reduction for 2 turns. So 800% is quite a lot, but it has obviously been overshadowed by huge damage that we've been seeing in recent times. 1,200%. I think we've had 2,000%. But this is hitting potentially 5 characters. And she has got a high base attack stat. But I'd have to test this out to see if this was like actually hitting hard enough. But I think it would. You know, I think it would. 800% is a big, big hit. Next up, we have the active skill, and it's Get Prepped. It has an initial cooldown of turn 2, cooldown of 2, and the effect is this character gets plus 50% attack and focus for 3 turns. This character gets Guardian Shield and 100% AP. Now, this is a turn 2 active, means turn 2 guaranteed 100% AP. If she is coming up against a team with exhaust and stuff, that is obviously going to be a major issue, but you don't have to use that. But her getting 50% attack is really, really good. And suddenly that rush goes from 800% obviously to 1,200% just based on the multipliers there. And then she gets even bigger boost based on her weapon, leader skill, and her base stats overall. So yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good at the moment. But like I said, we'll wait until we fully test it out to have a full idea. And obviously it wouldn't be Amber unless she had the specialist skill follow-up, which means once per turn when the specialist takes down an enemy with an attack or adrenaline rush, they will receive a bonus action. You know how follow-up works. Take down an enemy, you get a free attack. You also gain AP from both of those attacks, so big bonuses there. Now, she does have a special weapon, and it does follow in the footsteps of her 6-star character, the one with the Scythe Blade, because of the 3rd slot. It has got 30% attack and a medium bonus to AP when attacking, kind of what you would want on this sort of character. But a 3rd slot, bonus attack, 150% attack when attacking enemies with less than 50% of their HP. It basically turns her basic attack into just a nuke. Anyone who's got lower than 50% HP, she's going to destroy. And because she's going to be generally very, very high attack stat, she's already got a very high attack base, like nearly 6k, she's going to do so much damage here. And this can actually crit too on the basic attack, so it can get even higher. So here's the museum collections breakdown. 1,000 S-Class cards requires 210 syringes, 10 virus vaccines, and there's a stock of 10. Exactly what we saw before, 2,100 total syringes needed, 100 total virus vaccines. There is a grey market reward section as well. 50 virus spores will get you 1 biohazard token, and there is a stock of up to 200. Now, it did seem like there was an unlimited amount of drops here, because it said it dropped every time you raided. It obviously would maybe depend on, you know, RNG. It could, you know, drop between, hopefully not too low, but it could drop between like 5 and 10 per raid. To get, you know, 1 of these token pools, you might have to do 10 raids minimum. You could potentially get like a 200 drop, We'll have to wait and see there. It doesn't give the numbers here. There is also the 50 virus spores for 2,000 elite item tokens if you don't want the stash. I'm guessing the stash is reasonable. This is going to be for basically leftovers. Now we do also have the syringe hand-ins, and as you can see, 30 syringes gets you 5 bennies, 10 stock. 40 syringes gets you 500 chat cards, 40 syringes gets you 500 nick cards, 60 syringes gets you 500 league cards, and 60 syringes gets you 500 Cali cards. Lastly, there is a 10 syringes hand-in. You can hand this in 10 times, and you can get energy refill box, which I guess is going to be the choice box between the 5 pieces of energy. I think we've got this a couple of times in a few parts of the game, where I pretty much prioritize SR cans every time. Now with 300 possible claims of the biohazard stash, I'm guessing this is going to be quite big. But there are armory tokens in here. It does look like there's going to be a total of 12,500. Then there's Ascendance medals, blowtorches, engine grease, Basils, Liliths, Brady's, Epic Choice Gearbox 1, a Legendary Gear Choice Box 1 and 2. Sorry, there's also the Epic Gear Choice Box 2 as well there. Ulysses, Burt, Varnish, and Legendary medals. That is the end of the stash. So I'm not sure why there's 200 claims. But I guess it does actually, once you complete it, go to the next stash as the same stash, you know, repeatable stash like we've seen in the past. It also does the normal breakdown of what's in the choice boxes. Normal gear that we'd expect from Epic Gear Choice Box 1 and 2, and Legendary Gear Choice Box 1 and 2. And that is indeed the end of the information that they're giving us. So theoretically, this could be a really good event, but it is extremely jam-packed. Like I said, 3 weeks. You've got to make sure you hit all the things you need to hit. You know what you have to hit, guys. 2,100 syringes and 100 of the vaccines from the roadmap. I mean, you know what you've got to do if you want to get S-Class Amber. Once I do get my hands on her fully, I will have a video out just showing how good she is. But I think she's going to be pretty nice. And I do think there is a sneaky potential to use her on a defense team just because of that second turn active giving 100% AP to herself. She could be made quite defensive with extra stats. She doesn't maybe need AP, and I will test that out once I get a chance. But do tell me what you think about the event, the cure, and the character attached. Are you happy that Amber is going to be making it into the S-Class era? What do you think about her character herself from what you can see so far? I'll get more information off you guys once I actually release the gameplay video so we can see in depth what she's going to be like. But that is the end of my video. I want to thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.